AK Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Joey, and back today is Cody. He's back. He's got everything settled. He graduated from college. Congratulations, man. Not enough comments congratulating him.
No, it's whatever.
What's up with that, man? Yeah, I was a little hurt by it, but, it is what it is. But anyway, man, we're going to be doing key players. So key players for the upcoming season, man. We'll talk about some guys throughout the league who we think might need to have a big year, whether that's to help your team not be butt or because you need a new contract, whatever it is. And then we're also going to talk about specifically the Miami Dolphins and the San Francisco 49ers. So we'll get 5 players that need to step up and have big years for our teams to be successful this year. So we're going to go in kind of a rotating format, but we'll start with our teams, and we'll start with the Dolphins. So, Cody, why don't you take it away? Player number 1.
All right. So my number 1 is going to be no surprise here, no shocker. Tua Tagovailoa is the biggest X factor on the Dolphins this year. Maybe even the whole NFL. I think it could, especially for the AFC, I think it totally changes the landscape depending on how he plays. Because of our defense, the improvements we've made everywhere, pretty much, it all comes on Tua's shoulder. This is kind of like the year. Like, you have to – this if you're going to break out, you got to make it now, or we're probably moving on from you next year. Because the window that we're at, we don't want to wait around to develop somebody. I just know that's where the organization is at right now. But so Tua, he's my number 1 guy that the season pretty much rides on, depending on if he takes the next step. I'm hearing some good things from camp.
What do you think about him saying that he didn't know the playbook last year? And essentially saying that. I don't know. It kind of sounded like he might have been covering. Like, oh, it's no one's fault but myself, but my own fault. I didn't know, but what do you think about that?
So I think Tua, he's a really – everybody always says this about him, that his character is, off the charts. He's a really good guy. He's, really honest, nice dude. And I think that kind of bit him in the ass here a little bit, because I think that he came off – the way that he came off, he sounded kind of dumb. He kind of sounded like Jamarcus Russell, watching the tape – of the plays or whatever, and there was no tape.
Blitz packages. Yeah, blitz packages.
So that's the way it kind of came off. But if you understand how people think about Tua, the organization and around the league, then you'll know that he's just too nice of a guy. And I think he was just too honest, something that you probably shouldn't tell the media. You probably shouldn't tell them.
Yeah.
And it was one of the guys I follow, Omar Kelly for the Sun Sentinel, he pulled that stuff out of him, and I was like, dude, he was such a Tua lover, and I'm like, you're making Tua, people hate Tua even more, bro. Stop.
No, man, it kind of, here's what it sounded like to me. It sounded a little bit like he was tossing his OC under the bus, this play is not going to work.
Ken Gailey, yeah.
And I don't have the option to check it. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, well, I just didn't feel comfortable checking because he was like, it's on me. He was like, it's on me. He kind of started trying to walk it back. And in walking it back, he made himself sound like an idiot, like Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah. You're right.
So it kind of felt like that to me. But anyway, man, I'm actually really excited for Tua this year. I think he will step up, have a nice year. Because I liked Tua out of college. So, and here's to Tua not being the worst quarterback from his college in his own division. That was
and his success. Yeah, it would. And his success hinges on some other guys I'm going to be talking about, later on too. So,
quarterbacks, man, they say receivers dependent position, but quarterback is too.
Yep.
It is. You just look at Patrick Mahomes, man. He looked like a scrub in the Super Bowl, but nobody else really stepped up and helped him. But anyway, that's enough. Let's get on to the 49ers, man. So for me, man, one of the biggest guys is Jason Verrett, cornerback for the Niners. Brought him back on a 1-year deal. And I say Jason Verrett because after Verrett, we don't have a lot at corner. If he goes down with an injury, if he doesn't play or he gets nicked and isn't able to play that Pro Bowl, borderline all-pro level that he was at, this secondary is looking rough, man. Jimmy Ward, Jaquiski Tart, they're not great coverage guys. Emmanuel Mosley is limited. I like him. I think he's very good. He's limited. And after that, we got a couple rookies, Ambry Thomas and Diamador Lenore, who, I mean, they look great for rookies. You know what I mean? They looked really good covering undrafted guys in rookie mini camps. But if you lose Jason Verrett, you lose the ability to really lock down in the secondary on the back end there. So for that reason, I think he's, at least on the defense, I think he's the most important player, number one key player for me.
I actually don't disagree with you. I think that, his health, it all depends on his health. Because if he's healthy, he's always proven that he can be almost like play almost at like a Pro Bowl level. Like
I think he was all pro one year and then like just totally derailed
because of his
second team or something. Yeah.
That's what, I mean, that's what it's going to come down to. And because that's probably the weakest part of your team is your secondary anyway. So
yeah, probably.
Especially with the depth chart you just read off, like there's not a whole lot, helping you guys out. And you don't even – is Richard Sherman signed anywhere yet?
Yeah, he hasn't signed anywhere, man. Here's the thing with Richard Sherman, man. He's a very good player. But I don't think he fits kind of where this secondary was headed last year, because I think we played very simple coverages that we knew he could excel at. And without it, we saw a lot more man, a lot more aggressive play.
Yeah.
And Richard Sherman can't cover that. So I don't know if we're willing to completely revamp the defense again, kind of walk it back a little bit to bring him back, because he's not, like I said on that John Chapman show, he's not coming back to sit on the bench or play depth, because that would be awesome. You know what I mean? Oh, Richard Sherman's coming in after Verrett, like
on the depth chart, yeah.
Yeah, like he's not going to come in and be your third corner.
No,
he's going to want to be that number one guy on the outside, and he's going to play as, cover three. That's really, I think, like all he can effectively play at this point. And you got to help him. He's, I don't know, man. I don't really want to get into too much into Richard Sherman. It'd be cool to have him back because I like him. But, yeah, man, I don't think it's happening. Go to Seattle. So, go over there. Have fun over there.
With that being said, it makes Verrett even more important, that depth chart being as weak as it is. But
yeah. I mean, even Mosley, our number two, he's a undrafted free agent. We signed him. And then our slot corner, K'Wan Williams, he's out all the time too. It's like we really have injury, and you're going to hear injuries, man. That's a kind of a common theme for this 49ers roster. It just is.
That's what will hold you back. That's what holds everybody back. Kind of injuries can totally change the season. Like, you'll talk about somebody later coming off injury, but
I will.
It's my number two guy. Number two, I have. So it's kind of like the position as a whole, but Myles Gaskin, the Dolphins' starting running back.
Yeah.
So running back is a position, I don't know, feel like I've talked about it all the time, like every time I talk about the Dolphins, but it's something that we just kind of can't figure out. We just haven't really addressed. I feel like it's very low on priorities list for Brian Flores and what they're trying to do here. But Myles Gaskin,
who's your new OC? What kind of scheme are you running over there?
Okay, so we have two offensive coordinators.
A run game, pass game coordinator?
Yeah, pretty much. I think one was the quarterback's coach and one was the running back's coach.
Okay.
And they're co-offensive coordinators. It's kind of like it's a new thing. It's like never heard. It's like unheard of a little bit. So we'll see how that works out. It's weird. They both got promoted by that. So I guess it was all to help Tua out. Is pretty much.
Have they said what kind of run scheme they want to play? Blocking schemes? No, they haven't said. Yeah.
I don't know, but like Myles Gaskin, he had a lot of flashes last year. He was the number one tailback for us last year, which is saying something. After trying out a bunch of different guys, Jordan Howard not working, Matt Breida not even getting touches. I don't know what that was about. But Myles Gaskin was the one that ended up emerging as he's a starter. If not, he can play in the league basically. Like he belongs here pretty much. That's a lot coming from a 7th rounder a couple years ago, but he was hurt half the year too. Not if he played the full year, he would have actually probably been a big breakout guy for us. So I'm like really wondering, like our running game is going to be on his shoulders pretty much. I feel like we didn't think of it as like such a terrible need because of what he showed last year, and him taking another step forward, I think is really important for what we're trying to do, because that'll help Tua out. Got to get the run game going. Tua likes the RPO. That's what he ran in college. Like, you can't do anything like that without the run game working. So,
yeah, man, that whole running back position really. But yeah, Myles Gaskin as the lead dog in the backfield. Good choice. Yeah, man, I feel like you guys ran like a power run, right? Just I'm with Janky. That thing was so bad. But yeah, man, I feel like I feel like bringing in Matt Breida was like a weird choice. Like, I feel like he doesn't fit that scheme. He's not going to fit just any scheme. You know, he's scheme specific. Most guys are. But I feel like it was a little panicky, right?
Because we didn't get any of the running backs. We traded like a 4th rounder, 3rd rounder or something for him, because like we didn't get anybody within the first 4 rounds of the draft last year. And we're like, oh, we need somebody. So we traded for Breida. We couldn't figure out how to put him in the offense. So.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you can get him involved, like, I mean, I've seen what he can do. He just had a bit of a fumbling problem at the end with the Niners, but he was electric. So, I mean, find something. Would you say ass?
No, he was fast.
Oh, fast. I thought you were just like ass. No, man, he's good. I mean, feel like, I mean, he's not a lead back, but like, I feel like you get a run game operating that he can excel in, you know, that outside zone. Single cut kind of thing. He'll be successful for you. Not a lead back though, but yeah. Anyway, Myles Gaskin.
I don't even know where he is now. Actually,
he's with you guys still.
No, Matt Breida's not. I swear.
What?
Yeah, we let him go. Pretty sure.
Oh man, I don't be watching Dolphin stuff.
He's just nowhere.
Anyway, so you're not running
Bills.
The Bills. Okay, so you're not running that outside zone scheme, man. You're just probably sticking with that power run then. Something that Gaskin had success with. Anyway. Yeah, man, moving on here. 49ers. Number 2 for me is Brandon Ayuk. Rookie sensation, man. Dude had like 60 catches and like 900 yards in 12 games. Number 2 rated receiver, rookie receiver by PFF. Dude was a stud. Real smooth, and he was playing with like the worst quarterbacks ever, bro. Like, that was rough, and he still was successful.
Big Nick Mullins guy.
Big Nick Mullins guy, yeah. Anyway, man, the reason why he's on this list, you usually won't put like a guy that you know is going to perform on a list of key players.
Yeah.
But it's because I think you need a lot out of Brandon Ayuk this year. You need a lot of the receiving core because our wide receiver 3 is nobody, right? Yeah. We don't have one. So I think Kendrick Bourne had like 20% of our catches last year, and he's gone. And he was our number 3 guy, and he was a big 3rd down guy. Dropped some balls, made some bonehead plays, but he was a solid player. That means that about 20% of the targets are going to have to be distributed between Ayuk, Samuel, and Kittle.
Yeah.
And we have issues keeping all 3 of them on the field. So I think Brandon Ayuk needs to take a step up this year and have like 85, 90 catches. So I think he can do it. But I think you really need him to step up into a wide receiver 1 role. And this is a chance for him too to prove like, hey, like I'm an effing superstar. You know what I mean? Like, I'm one of the top receivers in the league. And I think having 2 guys that are capable quarterbacks this year, and Jimmy G and Trey Lance, if Jimmy G goes down, I think it's going to be real big for development. You know what I mean? I think when you bring in like a young quarterback, you need a good, solid receiver. Whether Brandon Ayuk is young or second-year player or not, it doesn't matter if you're a stud. You know what I mean? So Brandon Ayuk, man, is my number 2 player for the Niners who needs to step up. And yeah, we got to get about 20% of our targets
at least
made up somewhere.
Yeah.
So I need a big jump from him.
So yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, because you need him to. He might even take on a more expanded role, and people are going to be looking for him this year. They know the kind of threat that he is now.
Yeah.
Interestingly, I was like, I think we talked about this when we did have the John Chapman on about Jalen Hurd, coming off injury.
Yes, Jalen Hurd, man.
So,
he's
like,
every 49ers like secret crush, dude.
Are you expecting anything out of him this year? Like, what's going on?
So here's my thing. You can't expect anything out of a guy who's missed his only 2 years in the league due to separate major injuries. A back and an ACL. Like, damn.
Horrible injuries, yeah.
Everything we're hearing is he's ready to go for training camp. He'll be full go. However, you can't bank on that. So I'm not going to be like, oh, sprinkle Jalen Hurd 10% of those targets. So Jalen Hurd will just step in and take those targets, those 25 catches or 30 catches from Kendrick Bourne, you know? I can't do that. Now, if he is, then the league's got a fucking problem because he was really good. But you can't expect that. Like, I'm not expecting D Ford to come out and get 6 sacks because he's been off for 2 years, basically. You know what I mean? So, like, you know, you just can't bank on that.
Well, if I were you, I wouldn't worry. It looks like you guys fourth receiver on the depth chart is buried in their superstar in the making, Kevin White.
Kevin White. No, it's River Craycraft, bro.
Is he still there?
I think he's still there. He was only active for like 3 games last year.
Bro, I'm just waiting for the Kevin White success story, bro.
Man, I remember a lot of Niners fans wanted him, man. Like in that draft, we got him, baby. We got him, baby.
You finally got him, and you finally got Josh Rosen. Like, you guys got
just wait till Odell Beckham blows out both his knees and his back. We'll get him too, baby. He's coming.
I love it, dude.
We'll bring him in. Wait till Odell Beckham loses a leg. We'll get him then.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God.
Moving on. This next one is arguably just as important, if not more important, than Tua. And this is going to be Matt.
It's got to be defense.
Nope. No. It's most of this is offense, actually, believe it or not. But there is somebody on defense. But this one is going to be the center position. I know you don't think about it, but yeah, this is Matt Scara. Matt Scara is a guy from the Ravens. I don't know if you've heard of him, but
yeah, I've heard that.
He started with the Ravens for like 3 years, 3 years, and he had a problem snapping the ball. You're center.
Was he always a center though, or did he convert from?
I'm pretty sure he was always a center, dude.
Oh man, okay.
So we didn't really address it. We literally let Ted Karras walk, who was pretty good last year for us. And you know where he decided to go instead of re-signing with us? He goes back to the Patriots, who also re-signed Andrews.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They're centers or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's David Andrews. Ridiculous. Like, why did he go there to be a backup when he could have been a starter again with us? He just was like, get me out of Miami. Like, get me to the Patriots. But
get me back to the Patriots, man.
So,
I don't know.
Yeah, Matt Scara, I don't know about him. Apparently this a guy that we drafted 2 years ago to play guard, Michael Dieter from Wisconsin, has been getting reps at center too. So maybe he'll be able to take over. But either way, it's the interior of our offensive line doesn't look great. And if we're trying to get better at running the football, we need the interior to be better.
Gotta shore that up, yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, man. That is a problem that Niners know very well. It's that interior O-line, bro. But we addressed it, I think, for the most part. But yeah, man, that interior O-line, if you're getting pressure as a quarterback in your face, or you have to worry about if the ball is going to be snapped properly, yikes, man. Center play is an undervalued part of the league, man. It really is, because a lot of centers, I don't know your system, but a lot of centers call protections. They communicate on stunts and things like. Yeah. It directs traffic up there, so it's like you can have a great left tackle and your line is still butt. Like that interior O-line is very important. But people don't really value guards and centers. They even typically go later in the draft too, 2nd, 3rd round, stuff like that.
Yeah, later even. Yeah, later.
Yeah, first round talents sometimes fall into the 2nd because of that. Right. But yeah, man, interior O-line. I debated going interior O-line. I'll go for offensive line for my next one too. So for me, I debated center, I debated right guard, and I debated right tackle. I ended up going right tackle, Mike Mcglinchey.
Probably the more important one. But.
Yeah, I mean here's why here's why I went with this one, right? So this has ramifications beyond this season, right? If Mike McGlinchey comes out, balls out, dude's been eating, man. He put some we were talking with John Chapman about this. Like he just gets blown off the line. He's susceptible to the bull rush. He has Shaq in the fool plays. Like just gets dunked on all the time. He put on like quite a bit of weight, so hopefully that helps him. But if he is good, right? If he cleans up his game and he becomes he's already like a top-notch run blocker. And he's an average pass protector with those dunk-on plays, like where he just gets destroyed. If he can solidify that and make it above average to good, he'll be a Pro Bowl player. He'll be a Pro Bowl right tackle. If he gets to that level, not only do you have a solid offensive line, maybe one of the best in the league now, but you've solidified both tackle positions now for probably the next 5 years because he'll get a big extension.
Oh, yeah, it's huge.
If you can do that, man, like that's problems solved if you can solidify that line, man.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I chose to go with him. It has ramifications far beyond this year. You have a rookie quarterback who's going to be back there at the latest next season. If he's got his blind side and his front side protected, like, you're good. So for that, Mike McGlinchey, man, he is my third key player on this list. Man, I hope he gets it together. He put on some weight, man. If he had a picture out there, bro, where he was looking like it actually looked funny, bro. It looked like he had like a pillow under his jersey. Like it was kind of like weird and like flat and boxy, but I don't think it was a pillow. So Mike McGlinchey, man, my number 3 key player for the San Francisco 49ers this year and to come.
All right, yeah, people don't want to talk about it, but because the offensive line is never like the sexy thing to talk about, but it's so important. It's vital to the offense running. That you're right. Like I said, arguably the more important position. The most important positions on the offensive line are the tackles and the center. But
yeah,
interior is important, but it's not. I mean, you're not getting as much pass rush up the middle unless you're. Well, I mean, maybe for you guys because you guys played Aaron Donald. Yeah. Yeah, but
we actually always neutralize Aaron Donald. He never gets anything going against us.
Yeah, you guys play the Rams really well. I mean, it's the interdivision thing probably, but
we always beat the Rams. We beat them this year, dude, with CJ Beathard.
Yeah, you're right. You did.
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving on. My number 4 guy, finally going to touch the defense here for a little bit. So my number 4 guy is Avg Andrew Van Ginkel. You may or may not have even heard of this guy. But
I know I have. I'll never forget the name Van Ginkel.
And he's got this long, sunshine blonde hair.
I know what he's got, yeah. He's funny.
Yeah. So anyway, he was like a 5th-round pick out of Wisconsin a couple of years ago. He's a pass rusher is what he really is. He's kind of a do-everything linebacker, which we love those. We love him. Brian Flores loves that. And he had a kind of a breakout year last year. He had I think he had 8 sacks or something, which is pretty good. I mean, out of nowhere because there wasn't much pass rush other than Emmanuel Ogbah.
Yeah.
So he had a pretty good year, and I'm expecting
Jalen Phillips this year, man. I'm excited for that, actually.
For Jalen Phillips, me too. I'd love it. Yeah, but I think the added dimension, and just if you watch a game, you can't help but notice this guy. If you watch a Dolphins, because his name is pops up everywhere. He's getting tackles in the backfield. He's getting a sack. He just flies to people. He's like an ultimate workhorse guy. He is always moving. Always
around the ball.
Yeah. Always around the ball. Yeah, dude's he's just fun to watch. He's such a tryhard. Such a tryhard.
That's such a negative way to put it.
I know it is. But but anyway, the reason why I think that's so important to this year is because his development matters, and we need more pass rush. It's what's going to help keep the secondary as good as it is, get us more turnovers again. And that's why a lot of people are thinking, turnovers are kind of a luck stat. But I kind of feel like if our pressure gets better, because it wasn't that good last year, and people that were getting pressure just are evolving, then our secondary will be even better. It'll be even easier for them to handle. So I think that's a huge part. And we didn't really address, other than Jalen Phillips, the second, pass rusher. So we need guys like him. And I forget this guy's name every time, but there's another white guy pass rushing linebacker that's coming off an injury, also from like Wisconsin or something like that. That he needs to kind of step up to do the same thing. But.
You drafted him this year or last year?
It's his name is Vince Beagle. That's his name.
Oh, okay.
Another guy from Wisconsin drafted the year before Van Ginkel, so it was like 3 years ago, I think. And he had a breakout year when we sucked. When we were horrible, had like a D2 team like 2 years ago.
Yeah, bro, that's how it is, man. It's like you have all these like no name players when you suck, and you're like, damn, man, when we get good, he's gonna be part of it, and then they aren't.
They just like they kind of suck now with all the good.
Yeah, they kind of suck. Yeah. They were just like the only good player on a team, so they got like
right.
More
So you notice that. Yeah. But yeah, that other pass rushing spot, that's what matters to me. But.
Yeah, man, depth along the defensive line is an issue for probably every team in the league. Locking down pass rush is such a key stat, man. Like I know PFF and kind of like a lot of the wave of like new football is like lock down that secondary and it'll change everything. But it's like I'm still a believer, man, that like that defensive line is the pressure on the quarterback. You know what I mean? That stuff helps your secondary. Like, how can it not? Like, I don't understand. Like, I see it all the time. If you have pressure on your quarterback, it shuts everything down.
Yep.
It shuts everything down. Like, so, yeah, man, good choice. Pass rushing depth, pass rushing production. Can't go wrong with it. And that leads me on to my number 4. Defense. Nick Bosa, man. Maybe the best player on the team, really. And the reason he's a key player is because you just never know what you're going to get. Like, are we going to get like an Adrian Peterson type performance where he comes back and is like otherworldly and it literally has no effect on his game? Or are we going to get a guy who's lost a little burst, lost a little bend in his hips, or you know what I mean? Like the ACL is a real injury, man. Jimmy G is still not the same, man. He's a quarterback.
Yep.
He's not the same. You don't step into throws. He's a little skittish sometimes when his knee gets touched. He like gets pushed over and then gets up and he like limps around for a little bit after the fact. It's like that stuff has psychological impact.
Mm-hmm.
So it's scary, man. You just don't know what you're going to get. Nick Bosa is one of those guys, man, where it's like, why does this guy even practice? Like, just let him stay home. Email him the game plan. Right. Keep him in a hyperbaric chamber all the time and just put ESPN in there. Put some game film on it, and then let him come out and play on Sunday. Someone wrap him up in bubble wrap, take him to the field, unwrap him, and then series over, wrap him back up on the sideline. Like, don't let nothing happen to this guy, man, because he is a beast. And I know he had a very good defense last year without him. And I know we went from like top 10 and we were top 5 that Super Bowl year. Mm-hmm. But there's just something to be said, man, about if you watch the games, the freaking plays this guy makes beyond what a defensive lineman does, man.
Right.
Like, he's out there tipping passes. He's reading screens and he's getting out there. Like he's just too smart. He's too good. Like he's got to be on the field. Yeah, bro. He's just unreal. Like I remember that. Do you remember that Saints game 2 years ago? That like 45 game.
Crazy one, yeah.
Nick Bosa, bro, like the Saints were just giving it to us, man. And Nick Bosa, I remember like at the end of the half, they tried to run like a screen for Taysom Hill. Hill was like lined up at tight end or fullback or something. Or maybe it was Kamara. I don't know. But he's got his hand in the ground, man. He's rushing the passer. And he reads screen, comes back and tips the ball away, and it's like on 3rd and 1, dude.
Oh, man.
And it's just like those kind of plays, man, are just like epic, legendary, like high IQ, like playmaking plays. So Nick Bosa, man, if he can stay healthy, and he wasn't even healthy like his rookie year. He had a high ankle sprain for like 6 weeks or something. If he can stay healthy, and again, this is such a theme with the Niners, bro, is these elite-ass players are not on the field for 16 games.
Yeah, that is such a Niners thing. That's like
such a Niners thing, man.
Even years ago, I feel like that's been a thing for a long time. But
yeah, it is, man. Like, I mean, yeah, man, it is. Even going back to like when Kaepernick took us to the Super Bowl, guys are nicked up and dinged up, and But anyway, Nick Bosa, man, I think they're going to have him on a pitch count. Like, I mean, honestly, like I wouldn't even be upset if Nick Bosa played like 60% of the snaps this year.
Yeah.
Like, just keep the snap counts down, maybe alternate him series. Like, I don't know how you want to play it, but yeah, just keep him fresh. Keep keep him in the long-term plan, you know what I mean? Because if he has another big injury, because that's his second ACL, I think. You think he tore one in high school. Now he tore another one. And it was a freak injury. I get it. I also don't care. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So he's got to be healthy. If he is, the defense will just be – it'll just have a top-notch player, you know, one of the best five probably pass rushers in the league.
D-line becomes like elite again, like one of the best D-lines in football. And I think he does have, you know, he's got youth on his side as far as coming back, even if he's second. Was it his first ACL, the other leg, or the same leg?
I think it was the other leg, I think.
Yeah, well, that happens, you know, because they put so much, you're overcorrecting when you're, you know, putting all your weight on the other knee, you know, while you have that other torn ACL. So that happens a lot of times. But I think you'll be all right coming back.
Yeah. Here's the other thing with Nick Bosa, and I debated these two guys, and the reason I went with Bosa was this reason. Eric Armstead, he's another defensive end, and I think you've heard me talk about him before. If Nick Bosa gets hurt, Eric Armstead now on pass rushing situations stays at defensive end, which is not where he excels at rushing the passer. No. 10 sacks in a season playing D tackle, 2.5 last year playing defensive end.
Right.
He is not a pass rushing defensive end. He's really great in the run game there.
Run stop.
But on third down, you want to move him in where he can be a well above average, very good pass rusher. So if Nick Bosa stays on the field, Eric Armstead gets to rush from the interior, which essentially adds another pass rusher. You know what I mean? So if you lose Nick Bosa, you lose 2 pass rushers. Mm. So that's ultimately why I went with Bosa over Armstead as a key player.
Makes sense. So, I'll go to my last guy I got here.
Yeah.
It's a name that, you know, you never get right. You always have such a hard time remembering. Going back to the offense here, it's a wide receiver, one specifically. This is make it or break it year. He could take our offense to the next level. But Preston Williams.
Williamson?
Yeah, or whatever you call him, Preston Wilson.
Preston Wilson.
So anyway, if people aren't familiar, Preston Williams was like an undrafted guy out of like Colorado State or something. It was like a big deal when we picked him up because it was like the crush. It was that everybody wanted that. Everybody wanted him as an undrafted free agent. So when we got him, it was kind of a big deal. And then preseason comes around and dude's showing out. Dude is ridiculously good, awesome. And he's just kind of been hurt. He comes in, he plays well, and then he gets hurt. He just hasn't really shown up in games. Sometimes he does. The play he got hurt on last year was like a sweet touchdown catch. Like he was like this dude makes. He's got ridiculous hands. So like he is real. Like he makes catches. He'll make big plays all the time. But he's never healthy. He's got no health. So we forget that he exists. So a lot of people didn't like that we drafted
Jalen Waddle
because they're like, we actually are okay at receiver.
Yeah. Because if Preston Williams is on point, you know, he our receiving problem is not that big a deal. And we have Albert Wilson. That's where you get mixed up, probably. Coming back. No, it's Preston Wilson was a baseball player.
Oh, okay.
Like a long time ago, bro. Like All-Star Baseball 2000. Preston Wilson, man.
But yeah, so we got Albert Wilson coming back too, who was our slot guy before. Didn't play last year. I think he just said no because of COVID. And he was a monster. Nobody remembers it, but he was like,
I remember him.
When like Jay Cutler was
all about him. Yeah, man, you were all about him. I remember.
Dude, that game against like the Bears was with I think Brock Osweiler was quarterback that game. Like unbelievable. Dude was like he took like 2 different balls to the house from like the 50, dude. Like he was just like running around people and stuff. So if he plays like that again, I mean, like our receiving group is disgusting. But to me, the most important thing is Preston Williams being healthy, coming back, and adding another dimension to this offense. We have the chance to have the best receiving room in the NFL. That sounds ridiculous, but we have a chance. If Tua can get the ball in these guys' hands, I'm telling you. Devonta Parker is the worst one out of them all.
Yeah, man. Well, here's the thing. Devontae's going to start. He's going to start, whether we think he's great or not. But the thing with getting Waddle is that you can take some pressure and maybe get a rotation, limit the snaps of Preston Wilson. No, I'm just playing. You can limit his snaps, man, and keep him healthy. Keep the snap count down. Use them when you need them. Third downs. Albert Williams. Yeah, Albert Williams. I mean, you can do the same thing with him. Keep these guys healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And you can have a dynamic run after the catch type of offense with everyone really except for Devonta Parker.
Yeah.
All Devonta Parker needs is to play Stephon Gilmore or that dude. Man, I can't remember the dude's name, bro, for the Niners, who just got torched on like 7 plays in a row.
You're like fourth string, like undrafted free.
No, fourth string. That's a disrespect, man. He was our like fucking 8th string fucking practice squad.
Yeah, practice squad corner.
Yeah, he's just over and over again. But yeah, man, like as long as he's going up against those dudes, man, he gonna be good, bro. He might make the Pro Bowl this year.
Yeah, he got snubbed, but whatever.
No, man, but that's a good choice there. And the obvious thought was like, oh, Jalen Waddle, first round pick, Devonta Parker, first round pick formerly. Got a pretty big contract too. What's he making? Like $14 million a year?
Actually, it's not that crazy. It's like
$570.
Yeah, it's something like it's 14, 12 or something, or 12 a year or something. Because it was like I remember I was surprised when he got that contract because he didn't really do anything. And then after he got the contract, he was good. So I mean,
just be glad you ain't paying Amari Cooper $20 million.
Yeah, right. All right, who's your last guy?
Last guy, man. So I couldn't pick one guy here for this. So I'm saying the quarterback position for the 49ers, man. That has been the downfall of this team. Nick Bosa can go down. Trent Williams can go down. Or a few years ago, Joe Staley. Mike McGlinchey went down. Richard Sherman went down. It doesn't matter. Kyle Shanahan can make it happen, but not with anyone playing quarterback. We have 2 guys now, right? We have Jimmy G, who say what you want. He's at minimum a top 15 guy. I have him 12. At minimum, a top 15 guy. Mm-hmm. Then you have Trey Lance, who's probably not top 15 as a rookie, you know what I mean? But he's got it, right? He's got it. He's got the talent. He's got the arm. He's got the intelligence. So we believe so far, We need these guys to be on the field. So if Jimmy goes down, we need Trey to step up and give us top 15 type production. If Jimmy stays healthy, we just need him to play like he doesn't suck. You know what I mean? Play like he's got his career on the line, which he does. The quarterback position for the Niners, man, if all else fails and Verrett goes down and Ayuk has a backslide or goes down, Nick Bosa is not the same. Mike McGlinchey still is getting dunked on every game on 3rd and 10 in the fourth quarter, down 1 score. The quarterback plays well, Kyle Shanahan will dial it up. So if we can get consistent quarterback play out of either Jimmy G or Trey Lance, regardless of who's behind center, the team will be successful. So I have the quarterback position as one of my key spots, key players. I'm just saying quarterback because I'm a chicken and won't pick one because I don't think Trey Lance is playing much this year.
I think you're right. I think he barely sees the field, if any, if at all. But I agree with that selection. You're right. The quarterback is like the ultimate equalizer. I mean, on a bad team, a quarterback can make something happen. I think of like Russell Wilson or something, man. Like how bad the offensive line is there and stuff. But I mean,
think about the Packers for Aaron Rodgers' whole career until like 2-3 seasons ago, really.
That's true too. If you're that good, yeah. But I also think it can sometimes not always. Like, look at the Texans last year. Deshaun Watson was like out of his mind, and the team still struggled pretty hard.
Well, he's not Aaron Rodgers good, and also that team is so unbelievably dysfunctional and terrible.
Right.
Like, I don't even count that.
But no, I agree with you. Yeah, a healthy Jimmy G is really important.
Mm-hmm.
If he is healthy, I think there's no reason you guys aren't Super Bowl contenders.
I think if Jimmy can stay healthy for like 5-6 weeks, it doesn't matter if he goes down. I think Trey will be ready to go.
Yeah, at least past those first 5 or 6 weeks is what you're saying?
Yeah. I think he'll be ready. So if Jimmy can stay healthy, like basically through the bye, because I feel like after the bye, the schedule's not that tough, man. Like, yes, you play Seattle in Seattle. But it's just not that tough of a schedule to me. So that helps too. Like, I don't think Trey can start week 1.
No, you don't
But I
want
think,
him to. You don't want him to anyway.
yeah, no. I mean, think about that. You go, who's week one opponent? So you got Philly, Detroit. That's fine. But then you got Green Bay, Seattle, Cardinals. So that's Green Bay, which is a rivalry game, really. I mean, it kind of is. And then you got 2 division games. Let Jimmy handle those at minimum. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, that's what I got. So just to recap my 5, I got Jason Verrett. I got Brandon Ayuk, Mike McGlinchey, Nick Bosa, and the quarterback position for the San Francisco 49ers as guys that need to step up and either be healthy or play slightly above themselves this year just because of some depth issues or key losses.
All right, yeah. And for the Miami Dolphins, I had Tua Tagovailoa, quarterback, Myles Gaskin, running back, Matt Scara, or whoever ends up playing center.
Center, yes.
Andrew Van Ginkel, second pass rusher, and Preston Williams, like number 2 wide receiver for the Dolphins.
You think he's gonna be number 2? I think he'll be at 3.
He plays number 2. That's like what he does. Yeah. They kind of do the same thing. They just,
Yeah.
But actually, yeah, he'll be a number 3 this year because another guy I didn't mention who could have also been in this spot is Will Fuller.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Will Fuller. I forget about him all the time.
Top off the ball. We have so many receivers actually this year, dude.
You really do now. Yeah, you really
stacks
do.
room, dude. I don't know what's
Yeah,
if Tua's not good.
For real, man. What? So we got San Francisco, we got Miami. What about some guys around the league that like I'm thinking along the vein of like guys that need to have a year this year, either to get a new contract. If they don't step up the way their teams are hoping they will, their teams won't reach their potential. Whatever. You have any guys like that?
Yeah, I do. Actually, this is one interesting one I mentioned to you a little bit before, but I got Deandre Swift coming off his rookie season for the Lions. The Lions, a team no one's really thinking about or talking about because obviously I don't think they're going to be too good this year. Dan Campbell is kind of a meme.
Yeah.
But also, like DeAndre Swift and T.J. Hawkinson, I think they're going to excel in this system Dan Campbell's bringing. T.J. Hawkinson, he's a tight end, and everybody's saying Dan Campbell's probably like the best tight ends coach in the league, best blocking coach in the league. So he's going to become an elite blocking tight end, kind of in the vein of George Kittle.
Yeah.
And but with DeAndre Swift, he's going to get all the touches in the world. I promise you, he is. They want him to step up this year. The offensive line is really good. They want to run the ball first and, have Jared Goff throwing play action and stuff. So it's going to favor him. So I think this could be a big breakout year. And how the running game goes in Detroit will determine on how they're, good their offense, how smooth their offense really runs.
Yeah, man. DeAndre Swift. I think he kind of gets forgotten about because he's in Detroit. But a lot of people thought he was like the best running back in the draft last year. Detroit hasn't had a running back since Barry Sanders.
Yeah, no joke.
I was like 7 years old. Yeah. So like they could really use it, and Jared Goff certainly needs it. He's not Matthew Stafford, so he's gonna have a tough time, man, if he's not getting a running game.
He's a pass catcher too.
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift is. So everybody kind of pro-comped him like Alvin Kamara.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean,
receiving.
Yeah. There's no reason to bring Ty Gurley, and I know they're looking at that, but it's like unless your change of pace option is good to bad, that's your change of pace. You don't need to bring in Ty Gurley.
What's his name? Jamal Williams, I think, or whatever. The guy that used to be on the Packers. He's their number 2 guy, and he's really good, actually.
Yeah, very, very solid. More than capable. Yeah, more than capable of playing that number 2 role.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So for me, I'm going to go with, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I know I mentioned it to you. I'm going to go with Daniel Jones, man. Ooh. The Giants have a chance to win that division, right? Absolutely. Everyone's going to say like Dallas and, Washington. I think Washington is the best team. Mm-hmm. But Daniel Jones is, yes, kind of the same stuff I was talking about with Mike McGlinchey, man. Like you can have a quarterback of the future this year, or you could be in purgatory. Yep. And for Daniel Jones personally, you can be out of the league, you can be the next Mitch Trubisky, or you can be, $40 million a year richer. Maybe not 40, but 30, 35, you know what I mean? So, like, this is a big year for the Giants. They can really assert themselves in that weak-ass division. Mm-hmm. And he can assert himself as a consistent starting quarterback. Like, you don't have to be top 10 to get $30 million.
Top 15.
Top 15 guy, man, you're going to get 30 mil. So, like,
Yep.
if he can cut down on the interceptions, you get Saquon back this year, who I'm not really sure how good of a back he is, to be honest with you. He's a little too dancy for me.
Yep.
But, yeah, man, Daniel Jones is the guy for me. Needs to step up.
I love that pick, actually. I always tell you I'm a kind of a closeted Giants fan. And I really want them to succeed. I want them to win that division. But it is going to take Daniel Jones getting rid of his turnover problem, because he actually has had flashes.
That's the problem, though. That's the problem. Consistency is the problem for everybody. Like, Jimmy G's had flashes.
You're right.
Mitch Trubisky threw 6 touchdowns in a game, bro.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's consistency.
Yeah. Week in, week out. Can you make good decisions? He really doesn't have any excuses. That line is still a problem, but he's he's got good weapons.
Yeah, the team is much better.
The whole team is much better. Yeah, the whole team is much better.
All right, I like that one. I like that. My next one is this might be a little controversial.
Controversial. All right, man. Let's hear it. I want to know. I don't know this one.
It's Tim Tebow and the Jack. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh God.
Why is he there? We haven't really talked about it, but why is he?
Bro, have you heard this Taysom Hill type package thing?
Oh yeah, I know.
Oh, dude, what? What are you doing, bro? Taysom Hill runs like a 4.4. Tim Tebow ran like a 4.6 15 years ago.
Yeah. I don't know what he's doing on the team. I'd be surprised if he catches a ball this year, but
he shouldn't even make the roster, bro. If you want to be in the NFL, it needs to be as a coach. This is borderline disrespectful
to other players trying to get their shot.
Yeah. Right. It's borderline disrespectful to me.
And he's not really doing trying. The person I'm trying to say is Sam Darnold on the Panthers.
Yeah.
I think he decides how the Panthers season goes this year.
Yeah.
No, they can't. I'm just kidding. The Tampa Bay.
Yeah, you're right.
I forgot Tampa was in there for a second. But they could definitely be the second best and fight for that wild card spot. They could. The Panthers could.
Yeah, for sure.
They had flashes last year. He has weapons. He really does. That offensive line is shaky, super shaky. But if Sam Darnold is who he's supposed to be, who he was drafted by the Jets to be, and who the Panthers think he's going to be, because they pretty much put it all in. They picked up
his option. Yeah, they picked up his option. They're paying him quite a bit of money.
So if he can do what he's supposed to, and the Panthers should be good. I think they would be a good team in the NFC this year. I
talked about them a lot during the schedule breakdown video. Because we play that division this year. I like them, and I like Matt Rule, and I like Joe Brady.
Me too.
And I think they can. Yeah, I think they can run a lot of concepts that they like much better with Sam Darnold than with Teddy Bridgewater. Yeah, you got Christian McCaffrey coming back, man. Like, he's gonna catch the ball too. Sam Darnold's about to have like a whole new world open up for him, man.
Yeah,
like. It really is. I feel like his life is going to change. Now, whether he's broken or not, we don't know. You can break a guy. Yeah. You can break a guy. But he's really about to have a whole new world open up. He's going to be like, whoa, I can just throw it to this guy?
Right. And he can just
get 20 yards?
20 yards? Yeah.
Oh. Well, maybe I don't have to fucking make this stupid-ass decision over the middle. You know what I mean? Like,
right, yeah.
And let's also not forget, man, like, he won like 7 games, I think, twice with the Jets, which is quite an accomplishment because they are terrible.
Yeah, that terrible team. Terribly coached they were anyway, and it's bad.
So, yeah, I mean, Matt Darnold hasn't been great, but he hasn't – I don't want to say he hasn't been as bad as we make it out to be, but I don't think it's all his fault.
A lot of people still think he's got game in him, so we'll see.
Yeah, I remember some fool said they'd get a first-round pick for him. I don't remember who that was, but it was on, like, ESPN. He's worth a late first. It's like, no, he's not. But, yeah, man, I don't have any more guys from around the league. Do you?
No, I think we're kind of running.
I think that's good, man.
Anyway. That's a good list.
Real quick, man. What do you think about this Julio Jones stuff, dude?
Right. I do think, he needs to go to a contender, right? Like, I mean, he needs to go to like the Chiefs.
I'm wondering, like, I know that you guys are set on the receivers, man, but I'm wondering why you guys aren't throwing a first-round pick in the ring.
Dude, not first, no way. They wouldn't do it. But I mean,
the rumor is the Niners have a second on the table and they're considering it.
Yeah, you guys. I mean, that's to totally change your guys' offense too. I don't know, man. What are we gonna get from Julio at this point in his career?
Here's another thing too with Julio. So I know he's 32 and his contract is manageable because he's got like 15 due this year, which is nothing really.
For his,
then he's do 11 and 11. But do you think he's going to show up to camp for $11 million? I do not.
No way.
So you're going to have to give him a new deal.
Yeah.
You're going to have to give him a new deal, and you're going to have to pay him $20 million, or you just gave up a first or second or whatever it is.
Yep.
And for a 1-year rental.
You have to be a team that is a Super Bowl contender right now.
Ready to win this year, ready and willing to understand that it's just a rental.
I know. I sound like the Patriots were looking at him or something too. I was like, you're clueless if you really think that you're on that level. But
I think the teams that are – did you see the Rams were looking at him? Like, dude, what are you doing, bro? Please, go to the Rams, please. They won't have a first-round pick until I'm 70.
There is the Seattle buzz, too, because that would be such a Seattle move, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Trade their picks for aging vets and stuff. But.
Yeah, big names and stuff, yeah. I feel like they're building their team on, like, Madden or something.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know. I feel like the Rams did the same thing. But, yeah, man, like the Titans I know were in on it. The Niners were in on it. I have to say, man, like, can you make $15 million work on the Niners cap? Yes. You got to restructure somebody. It's probably Jimmy because he's due 25.
Oh, wow.
If you could move – when you restructure, man, you can move, let's say, $3.5–4 million because we still have to sign our rookie class. $3.5–4 million bucks, and then give him more guaranteed money, like over the course of 2 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think all his guaranteed money is paid, but like you could guarantee him some money, and he might do it. And then you could fit Julio. The problem is next year because the Niners brought a lot of guys back on some 1-year deals, but they also backloaded some deals, some bigger ones. You know what I mean? Then you got Bosa coming up. You got Fred Warner, who you have to pay this year. They're probably going to have to backload that. So I don't know how Julio fits. If you could fit him, man, I want him. Bring him here. But he'll catch more than 2 touchdowns a year with Kyle Shanahan. I'll promise you that. Listen up, Julio. If you want to catch at least 3 touchdowns, you come to the 49ers.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see, man. He's going to go to a contender. I don't know where he ends up, but Baltimore.
I know the Titans are the favorites right now. I don't see that fit. I don't like it.
The Titans? Yeah, I don't.
They need help on defense. Yeah, you hate the Titans, bro. You hate the Titans. You think
I'm very low on the Titans. I'm low on how far that offense can really go with Ryan Tannehill.
Even with Julio, yeah, even with Julio, I don't see it. But yeah, man, I think that's it, man. We wrapped up. We're wrapping up here. Key players, man, we talked about, covered some guys around the league, and we touched on Julio. So I think that's it. Thank you guys for watching and subscribing. We're hitting milestones, man. We got to hitting milestones. They're low milestones, but we're hitting them. So content's going to keep coming, man. And don't forget about, man, the season comes. The content's going to be flowing.
When it blows up.
It's going to be flowing. It's going to be flowing, man. Yeah.
Also, I'm happy to be back, too. Thanks, guys, for just listening to this guy over here for a little bit. But
I know it wasn't easy, but we made it, baby. We made it.
But, yeah, that's it. I hope everybody has a good rest of their week.
Yeah. All right, man. So, again, wrapping up, key players here. Check out our social medias. We'll link them in the description. Follow us on Twitter, social media. All that stuff's going to be linked. So thank you guys if you're still watching, and have a great day.
See you.